right? Let us see. For example, I want to define, okay, telephone number pattern. Okay, I want to define, and after this we'll go for other form controls. So some more form controls are there, and we'll discuss about other form controls once we completed this. Okay, right? So input type. Now this is a label. Yes. For example, I want to define, for example, I want to define telephone number. I want to define the telephone number. So where I'm saying label, okay, label for, I'm just writing here phone number. Okay, now this is, so telephone is there. Okay, right? Then after that, I'm saying input type. Okay, input type equal to what here? Telephone. And this is for, okay, this is for phone number, and then I'm saying it is required. It is required. And at the same time, I'm trying to define the pattern. What is a pattern is, for example, if it is an international telephone number, how you define it? You'll try to define, suppose assume that it is having total how many digits? 9 digits. Now this is first 3 digits and second 3 digits. And third is also what again? 3 digits. And these are separated with what here? Hyphen. Okay, this number is separated with what here? Hyphen. Okay. Then I want to input the telephone number in this pattern. If you don't enter the input in this pattern, then immediately it should display what? Error. So what is a pattern? First 3 digits and followed by which one? Hyphen. And followed by how many digits again? 3 digits. And again followed by which one? Hyphen. And again followed by how many digits? 3 digits. Then how can I define this? Okay, now pattern 3 digits, right? First 3 digits. How can you define the digits? By using backslash D. So what is backslash D indicates here? Any digit from 0 to 9. And this should be repeated how many times here? 3 times. Okay, this must be repeated how many times? 3 times. And followed by which one here? Hyphen. Followed by hyphen and again backslash D. And the digit should be repeated again how many times? 3 times. And followed by hyphen. And again I'm saying backslash D. And this digit should be repeated again how many times? 3 times. Getting or not? Okay. So what is backslash D indicates? 0 to 9. In the place of backslash D, you can also use a set where you can write 0 to 9. So you can use any digits from 0 to 9. That should be repeated exactly how many times? 3 times. That should be repeated exactly 3 times. Or you can use simply backslash D. So that indicates repeating digits how many times? 3 times, right? Let us see this one. Okay. Now once they run this, so here I try to input the telephone number. I just input 123. Now it is given what here? Error. Saying that please match the required requested what? Format. I'm saying 123-456. Then again, if I write submit, again it is given please match the requested format. And again, I'm saying -789. And if I click on submit, is it this number is submitted or not? Yes. Going on. So you are trying to define which format here? Phone number format. Okay. It is required and it should be input in this particular format. Okay. In the same way, now I want to define label for, I want to define label for which one? Password. I want to define the label for password. So there is a password here. Okay. So input type, okay, input type equal to what now? Password. Input type is a password. And then what I'm saying is, okay, now this is a name. And what is the name of this again? Password. And you have to define the pattern. Okay. So I want to define the password pattern. So what is the minimum length of the password? 8 characters. Minimum length of the password is 8 characters. And within that, okay, so you should have alphabets. Okay, within that there will be an alphabets, and within that you'll have what again? Digits, and within that you'll also have some special characters. So minimum at least one alphabet should be there, and one digit should be there, and one special character should be there. Okay, minimum at least one character should be there, one alphabet should be there, and one digit should be there, and one special character should be there, right? For example, if I'm writing like this, for example, if I'm writing as a set, within the set, for example, I'll say, okay, within the set, I'm writing A to Z, means allow all the alphabets from where? A to Z, and then allow all the alphabets from what? A to Z. So that can be capital letters, or that can be what? Small letters. Allows all the digits from 0 to 9, and allow some special character. What is that special character? I want these characters should be allowed. Okay, I want this character should be allowed, right? How many special characters like caps, exclamatory, and at the rate, hash, dollar, percentage, and one more is what? Ampersand. Okay, now I want these characters should be allowed. Suppose what will happen if I write like this? What will happen if I write like this? Plus, plus means one or more repetitions. One or more repetitions means this within this character, any character can be repeated either one or more than one time. But is it this is a valid pattern or invalid pattern? Invalid. This is not a valid pattern, right? This is what here? Invalid pattern. Then what you have to do? First, you are writing like this. Okay. A to Z or A to Z. Okay. Minimum how many? Minimum how many? 2. Minimum 2. Maximum how many? Minimum 2. Maximum is how many? See, minimum. I said minimum 2. Exactly how many repetitions here? 2 repetitions. I can write like this or not? Yes. So I want alphabet should be repeated how many times? 2 times. 2 alphabets should be there. Okay, 2 alphabets should be there. Minimum 2. Okay, maximum any number of. Okay, maximum any number of. Okay, maximum any number of. Okay, suppose if you want to check the maximum length of the password is 16. So minimum is 2 and maximum is what? 16. Minimum is 2 and maximum is what? 16. Then it should followed by which one again? Digits. 0 to 9. 0 to 9 minimum. How many digits here? 2 digits. Minimum is how many digits here? 2 digits. 2 digits. At least it should have how many digits here? 2 digits. Okay, 2 digits should be there. Okay, then it followed by some special character like exclamatory, hash, dollar, percentage. Okay, and then what? Ampersand. And this should be repeated how many times here? 2 times. So what is the length of the password can be? Alphabets can be minimum 2, maximum what here? 16. But within that, now you write 2 alphabets. Okay, then it should be followed by how many digits here? 2 digits. And it should be followed by how many special characters? 2 special characters. Now you have to write only in this format. You cannot write a special character in between. You cannot write a special character in between. Now, last character should be what? Special. But password should begin with what? Alphabets. Password should begin with what here? Alphabets. I write like this in a simple way. Okay, now this is a pattern. Now I'll try to execute. So telephone number 123-456-789. Then what is the password? First is what? Alphabets. First is alphabets, and next is what? digits, and next is what? Special characters. And then just click on submit. Okay, now please match the requested format. So what we entered. Now we'll take this as a otherwise we'll take, because I want to see, right? I want to see. Then how can I see this? Take this. Instead of taking it as what? Password, I've taken this as what? Text. So that is it this input text is visible or not visible? Visible. 456. Okay, something. And then first A, B, C, D. Okay, A, B, C, D. Followed by what here? Digits. Followed by the digits. And then followed by what are the characters? Cap symbol, suppose exclamatory. One is exclamatory and one more is what? Hash. Now just click on submit. Is it submitted or not? Yes. So I try to input the telephone number. Now this is a telephone number. I try to input two alphabets. Minimum two alphabets should be there. Okay, two alphabets should be there and two digits. And if I'm using exclamatory and at the rate, is it at the rate is allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. It is not there in the list of special characters. Okay, which one is allowed in the special character? Dollar. Dollar is allowed? Yes. The ring honor. So you can define the group of characters by just giving in what? Square brackets. You can define the group of characters by just giving in what? Square brackets. In the same way, for example, label for, okay, label for, what is this here? IFSC code, IFSC code, okay. Now this is called as which one? IFSC code, okay. Now input type, what is the input type here? Text. See, you can change this. Input type text to what here? Password. But sometimes when you work with certain forms, you find one checkbox. When you click on checkbox, show password means, will it password is displayed or not? Yes. If you click on show password, it will display the password. It means when you click on show password, it will display what here? Show password. It means there are two text fields are there. One is a password field and one more is which field? Text field. Okay, now. So when you click on show password, instead of showing which field? Password field, it will show you which field? Text field. Now that can be managed by using which one? JavaScript. Okay. Then just here. Input type. Input type equal to what is this? Text only. IFSC code is a text or not? Yes. Input type equal to text. And name. Name is for what here? IFSC code. And then what I'm doing? Pattern. Is it any pattern is there for IFSC code? Yes. What is a pattern? First four letters should be what? Alphabets. Okay, it's a bank code or not? Yes. Okay, now it should be either in uppercase. It should be either in uppercase or it should be either in what? Lowercase. It should be either in uppercase or it should be either in what? Lowercase. And this should be repeated exactly how many times? 4 times. And then followed by digits from 0 to 9. How many digits? 7 or 8 or 9 or 7 digits. Okay, followed by how many digits here? 7 digits I'm using it. Followed by 7 digits, right? So any pattern you can write it. Any pattern you can write it. Okay. Now this is telephone number pattern and this is password pattern. Okay. So there is an exclamatory and there is a hash and there is IFSC code, some SDFC. How many digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Submit. Submitted or not? Yes. So I enter the telephone number. I enter the telephone number. I enter the password here. Okay. So this is a password. And if I'm writing IC. Okay. And if I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Then is it submit? No, because it required how many digits here? 7 digits. Now is it submitted or not? Yes. If you want to check the input validation, if you want to check the input validation, you are trying to check this input validation by using what now? Regular expressions. Okay. Yes, this is an example for this. So in this example, you are trying to validate. In this example, you are trying to validate how many things here? Three. One is phone number, second one is password, and third one is what? IFSC code. Okay, right? So let us move into some more input types. Okay, let us move into some more input types. There are some more input types out there. So what are the other input types available in HTML? You can call it as HTML form elements. What are the other HTML form elements? Now in the last class, we have seen that. Okay, now there are some form elements out there. There are other form elements. Which day here? I listed out all the form elements. 8th or 9th. All the form elements. I have given one list, right? Yeah. So HTML form elements. Now these are the form elements here. One is input. And next one is, now you have a form element called which one? Text area is it. So next form element what you have is text area. Now it is used to input the data in not only one line, it allows to input the data in what? Multiple lines. So allows the user to enter multiple lines of text. So that is done by using which one? Text area. If you want to input the data in multiple lines, for example, label. So label for, I'm creating a label for, okay, label for some description. Label for description. Now I want to provide this description. I want to provide this description in multiple lines. So where I'm saying input type equal to what here? Text area. So what is the name of the, what is the name of the control itself here? Text area. What is the name of the control here? Text area. Okay, text area, and you are just giving the name, and the name of this text area is what here? Description. The name of this text area is a description. Now you can see this is a text area where you can input the data in one line or multiple lines, multiple lines. But whereas in input type text, you can input the data in one line or in multiple lines, multiple lines. Now here I can type the data in multiple lines. HTML stands for, HTML stands for where I'm saying some hypertext markup, what is that? Language. So is it in one line or multiple lines? Multiple lines. So where you can define the width as well as what here? Height. You can define the width, height as well as what? Size. You can define the width, height as well as the size. Now there is an attribute. Now there is an attribute called which one? Wrap. Okay, wrapping means suppose when you're talking about this wrapping, right? Suppose if you see this notepad is there. In the notepad, you have a word wrap is there. Suppose you define the width of the text area. You define the width of the text area. When it reaches to the maximum width, the word is automatically moved into what? Next line. Now, can you say this is called as one text area or not? Yes. This is called as which one here? Text area, where you can input the data in one line or multiple lines. Multiple lines you can type. Not in one line. You can input the data in multiple lines, and that is done by using which one? Text area. Okay. And you can define the width of the text area. I try to define the width of the text area as a 200. Text area width is defined as a 200. Sorry. So I try to define the width of the text area as what? 200. Can you increase more or not? Yes. Okay, now this is a width of which one? Text area. Now you can write how many characters inside this. Now how many characters you can write inside this? Maximum how many characters? Are you define the length of this text area? No. Sometimes they ask you, input the characters only how many characters? 160 characters, 30 characters, or 50 characters. For example, if I'm saying width of the text area is 5, then I try to input. How many characters I try to input? More than 5 or 5? More than 1. But this 5 doesn't mean that, okay, the width of the text area. It is only a display width actually. This is called as a display width. Now, if you want to define the maximum length of the text area, now these are the attributes. So what are the attributes of text area? Just to see here. Text area, just to see the list of the attributes of which one? Text area. Now these are the attributes related with what here? Text area. Whether you want to add the scroll bar, whether you want to add not scroll bar, or you want scroll bar is on or off, you want to add horizontal scroll or vertical scroll. Now you can define that. Okay, suppose here you can see number of rows and number of which one? Columns. Now rows and column attributes to allow you to specify exact size of which one? Text area. Okay, setting this is a good idea for consistency, as a browser defaults can differ, right? So you can define what is it? How many rows? You want to display with how many rows here? I want to display with how many rows here? 10 rows. I want to define with how many columns? Columns is nothing but in each row number of characters. In each row, how many characters I want? Some 20 characters. In each row, I want how many characters? 20. Now, total how many rows are there here? 20 rows are there. Sorry, how many rows are there? 10 rows. I'm trying to define 5. Total number of rows are how many here? 5. Total number of columns are how many here? 20. So there are some attributes related with which one? Text area. What are the attributes? Rows. And second one is what? Columns are there. And the name of the attribute. And then autocomplete is read only, required. You are saying required, right? Required means is it this field is required or not? Yes, that is defined by using which one? Required. Then there is a maximum length and there is what here? Minimum length. Maximum string length. Suppose I want to define the maximum number of characters. How can I define the maximum length? By using an attribute called maximum length. Maximum, I want to input how many characters? 160 characters. Okay, then I'll try to define the minimum length. And what is the minimum length? I want to input at least how many characters? 10 characters. What is the maximum length? 160 characters. And what is the minimum length? 10 characters. And I'm saying it is required. It is required. Then what will happen? I need to input. Compulsory, I have to input the value. But minimum how many characters? 10 characters. But I try to input how many characters? 3. So please, the length of this text is at least how many characters? 10 characters. I try to input how many characters? 10 characters. But maximum how many characters I can put? 160 characters. Sometimes you see certain forms enter only this many number of characters. Suppose minimum 10, I just given the maximum as what here? Sorry. Minimum 10 and maximum I've given what? 15. If I enter more than 15, is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Once I click on submit, right, it's submit. Suppose if I'm trying to press the character, is it character is input or not input? Not input, because we define the maximum length as how many characters? 15 characters. But if you type more than 15 or 160 characters, is it those characters are displayed or not? Not displayed. All right. So within the text area, you can input multiple. Within text area, you can input the text in what? Multiple lines. And these are the attributes. These are the attributes of text area. What is the first attribute is rows. What is the second attribute is columns. What is the third attribute is maximum length. What is the fourth attribute is minimum length. Anyway, there is an attribute called which one? Name. There is an attribute called name. This define display number of rows. Display number of rows. Okay, only for display. And this is display number of columns, not the size of it. Okay, display number of columns, maximum length. Okay, maximum number of characters. Maximum number of characters defined by using maximum length. Okay, minimum number of characters. Minimum number of characters. Minimum number of characters allowed. Minimum number of characters allowed defined by using minimum length. Maximum number of characters allowed using maximum length. Minimum number of characters allowed defined by using minimum length. And this is a name of the text area. Please here. నేను కూడా వస్తా బయటికి పోదామా? వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ హియర్? నాట్ గుడ్. ఓకేనా? మాకు కూడా పని ఉంటుంది, మేము కూడా వెళ్ళాలి మరి. చెప్పండి. See, I have also urgent work here. Should I go? Shall I go? I have also urgent work here. మాకేమైనా పని లేదా ఇక్కడ? Yes or no? We also have an urgent works. We'll also have some family and friends. Yes or no? What do you say here? Is it correct or wrong? వెళ్ళండి మరి, వెళ్ళండి. రాంగ్ రాంగ్ అన్నారు కదా, వెళ్ళండి. ఇంకేంటి? యు సెడ్ రాంగ్. వెళ్ళండి, వెళ్ళండి, వెళ్ళండి. రాంగ్ రాంగ్ అని తెలిసి రాంగ్ చేస్తామని. ఓకే, యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ రాంగ్. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఏ రాంగ్ థింగ్ అండ్ దెన్ రాంగ్ ని రైట్ అంటామని. సినిమాలో ఉంది చూడు, వాట్ మూవీ ఇయర్ అది చూడు, ఎంత సర్లేరు నీకెవరు. వాడు అంటాడు చూడు, అవునా కదా, నేను రాంగ్ ని ఎప్పుడు రైట్, రైట్ ని రాంగ్ అని రైట్ అంటాడు చూడు. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? సో when you are saying it is a wrong, okay, when you know it is a wrong, what you are making, that is correct, right? When you are saying it is a wrong, you have to think about it is a wrong only. Suppose you come to this place here, you come to this place and start teaching, you will be knowing the pain of a lecturer, right? Yes or no? You come to this place and stand here first. You come to this place and stand and start, say something about yourself. When you are saying something about yourself, suddenly one student will go off. Then what do you think? Nervous, huh? Nervous or not? You have to think like that here. HTML means not going in and out, right? Because first of all, HTML means most of the students, what they'll think is, hey, HTML కదా, ఏం లేదు, ఒట్టిగా అన్ని ప్లే చేయడం. ఓకేనా? బట్ నో, I said, from beginning onwards, I'm telling you, it is very important. In web development, it is very important. Without HTML, CSS and JavaScript, You cannot do anything. Without HTML, CSS and JavaScript, you cannot do anything. Okay, na? So you need to work on this. It's very important. How can you please, what here? 10 digits you repeat it here. What is there? I said this many number of patterns. I said this many number of patterns can you do for pattern with the 10 digits? Just write 0 to 9, 10. Just write 0 to 9, 10. That's all, right? Backslash D, 9, 10. That will repeat how many times? Only 10 times. Mobile number there. How you write the mobile number? Mobile number validation. How you write? Backslash D. How many times it is? 10 times. That's all. Backslash D, 10. D means what? Digits. From 0 to 9. How many repetitions? 10 repetitions. Array. This many number of examples I said. You cannot write one example here. Okay. Yes. No problem. Yes. But I'm saying no. Once we complete this HTML, when I move to CSS, I'll not tell you what is a label and all the things. Okay. Everything we learn here, but we just only do which one? We'll just do only which one? Styling. We'll try to do styling by using different layouts. You find different layouts, right? You find different layouts out there. Like some beautiful layouts provided by, okay, beautiful layouts are provided by Bootstrap, right? So there are so many layouts out there here. Okay, different layouts. There are so many layouts out there, and we'll try to develop all these layouts. Examples are given with, sorry. So there are different layouts are provided. Now build anything. Now these are different themes, right? Suppose you want to develop, suppose assume that you want to develop this kind of layout. Is it this is one layout or not? Yes, this can be called as one layout. This can be called as one template. What is it? This is what? Is it a paid or a free? Paid. It means template is very costly or not? Yes. Okay, don't think that it is free, right? Now template is very costly. Now this is also one template. So this is e-commerce, right? Now this is also e-commerce. This is also one template, right? All these are different templates. We'll try to take one example and try to implement it. Okay, try to implement all these things. Okay, so by using division and all the things, we'll try to see in detail, right? So we'll try to develop some of the templates available in this. Okay, but these templates, you cannot develop it only by using which one? HTML. For this, you required what? CSS also, right? CSS also. No, they provide themes and they also provide which one? Icons. Now, there are so many icons out there or not? Yes. For example, you want Twitter icon. You want which one? GitHub icon. Or you want which one? Some changing theme, right? So there are so many icons out there or not? Yes. All these are the icons. See here, you can find number of icons, different types of icons. Now we'll be using all these icons while developing CS. Why? Because you should know what is this, each and every thing, right? Okay, now there is a copyright and this is a bus. So number of icons are there. We'll see how to use all these icons also. And there is also blocks. There is also blocks. Okay, now this is a block of developing what is that one? A block, a predefined block by selecting colors and all the things. So we'll try to see all these things. Don't worry. But first we are completing which one? HTML, and then we'll go for CSS, because I don't want to mix this HTML and CSS and learning. Then you'll become you cannot understand, right? Okay, so that is a text area, and text area allows to input multiple values. There is one more. There is one more. There is one more form element called which one? Select is there. There is one more form element called select. So why we are using this select is, now select is used for creating a drop down. Select is used for creating what here? Drop down. So creates a drop down list of options from which users can select. But how you define the list of options? By using one more control called which one? Option. Now you can say select is a root element and option is which element? Child element. So select creates a drop down list of options from which user can select how many? One or more than one. One or more than one, right? So select is there. For example, if I'm trying to use here select, what is the name of the control here? Select. What is the name of the control here? Select. And select. And I'm just writing here label, label, label for which one? Courses. Now I'm trying to display the list of courses, but how you display the list of courses? You are trying to display the list of courses as one drop down. And from that drop down, you can select either one course or more than one course. You can select either one course or more than one course. That is done by using which one? Select. But are you define any items inside this? No, not define any items inside this, right? How can you define the items within that? By using which one? Options. By using option. So there is an option. There is an option. What is the first option? I'm trying to say first option value. Okay, first option value. What is the first one here? Java. Okay, so there is an option called which one? Java, right? So there is an option called which one? Java. And if I select Java, what is the value written here? Java. If I select Java, it returns a value as Java. Now, again, I'm saying option value. Okay, now I'm trying to give the database name as Oracle. And what is the name of this here? Oracle. Now there is a drop down created with how many options here? Two options. One is Java and one more is Oracle. If I click on submit, suppose if I click on submit, it is trying to send how many values you should send? Two values. Now, are you given any name to this select here? No. What is the name of this select here? Course. What is the name of this select? Courses. Okay. The name of this is a courses. Now I try to select the course called Oracle, and once you click on submit, it is send two values, right? What is the first value? Send description. What is the second value? Send course. What is the value of course here? Oracle. Okay, right. Then there is one more. Okay, there is one more option. You can define multiple options. Value, value equal to some. I'm just writing here .NET. Value equal to .NET, and I'm just writing here it as what? .NET, right? Yes. Now the drop down is having how many values? Multiple values. But .NET, when I say dot is displayed. Dot is displayed or not? Is Java, Oracle, and what is this? Net. Now this is what is the values displayed? Java, okay, Oracle, and one more is what? Net. But dot and net is displayed or not displayed? Not displayed. Then how you display it? By saying backslash. See Java, Oracle, and what is that? Dot. But where is the dot? Why it's not displaying dot? Because value, is it value contain a dot? No. So you try to define C# or .NET or something, right? Okay. So Java, Oracle, more is what? Net. Okay. So this is drop down. This is drop down. From drop down, you can select either one value or you can select what? More than one value. But how you define the list of values? By using which one? Option. How you define the list of values? By using option, right? Then I said about label. Next one is what here? Yes, there is a button is there. There is one more control is there. And what is a control here? Button. So what is the difference between input type? What is the difference between input type? Input type equal to which one? Submit. Input type equal to submit, and input type equal to what is it? Reset. Input type equal to reset, and one more is which one? Button. So these are having some predefined functionality. This input type is submit is having some predefined. So predefined functionality. This is having predefined functionality, and this is also having some predefined functionality. This is having some predefined functionality. Okay, now, and this is also having predefined functionality. If I click on submit button, it will submit the form. It will submit the form to the given URL or not? Yes. If I click on the reset, it will try to remove the content of what? Form. It just clear the content of the form. If I click on which one? Reset. But button doesn't have any what here? Predefined functionality. Button doesn't have any predefined functionality. So this functionality is defined by whom? Programmer. This functionality is defined by what? Programmer. Suppose when I click on the button, I want to perform one operation. For example, you are developing HTML calculator. For example, you are developing HTML calculator. Within HTML, you are developing one calculator. Within the calculator, I'll try to place some. Within the calculator, I'll try to place some buttons. Within the calculator, I'll try to place what? Buttons. Okay, if I click on one, is it submit the form? If I click on one, submit the form, or one is shown, one is displayed. One is displayed, right? One is displayed in which entry? Text entry or text control. Okay, if I click on 2, it will show you 1 and 2. It means when I click on 1, I should execute user-defined function or predefined function. User-defined function. I want to execute user-defined function. So that can be done by using which control here? Button control. See here, creates a clickable button that can trigger an action. Create a clickable button that can trigger what? An action. Okay, button. Button. What are the attributes button is having? Name is there, and one more is what? Value. So button is having a name as well as what? Value. Suppose input type. For example, input type is a submit. Input type equal to reset. Input type is a submit. Input type is what? A reset. Sorry. Input type is a submit. Input type is what here? A reset. Input type is a reset. Okay. Now you have how many buttons here? 2 buttons. One is submit and one more is what? Reset. But is it these are predefined functionalities associated with these buttons or not? Yes. When you click on submit, the form data is submit to the resource given by using which one? Action. But suppose if I'm trying to say button, for example, if I'm saying button, this is a button, and button, okay, so there is a value. So button value, I'm just writing it as what? Okay. Button value is equal to okay. Now there is one button. Button value is okay. Button value. What is a button value? I said okay. Now I'm trying to define what do you call it as title for this button. Button value is okay. And I try to define the title for this button array. Oh, sorry, this is a button, right? Yes. So when you click on this button, see, button is having some attributes. Button is having some attributes, and I'm trying to define the value of the button. I'm trying to define what here? Value of the button. And what is the value of the button? Just select the value of the button is, assume that this is 1. Value of the button is what here? 1. But when this value is written, suppose you are developing a calculator. Now this calculator is having number of buttons or not? Yes, this calculator is having number of buttons, but each button is having one value. Each button is having one value, and I want to use that value to display that. I want to use that value to be displayed inside what? Text field. I want that value to be displayed in what? Text field. Now, how you are defining that value? By using which one? Value attribute. What is a value attribute? The value attribute returns the value of which one? Button. It is not a display value. It is not a display value, or it is not a caption. See here, what is a caption for this? What is a caption, or what is a text displayed on this? Submit. What is a text displayed on this? Reset. But is it any text displayed on this? No. Because is it value define the text displayed? No. Value define the value of the button. Value define the value of the button. Same thing, see here. Same thing you can write like this also. Input type equal to which one? Button. Is it that button and this both are same or different? Same. But here I'm saying input type equal to which one? Submit. Input type equal to which one? Reset. Input type equal to which one? Button. But is it having any predefined functionality? No. What is the value of this button? Value of this button is what? 1. What is the text? What is the text of this button? I just write here, text of the button is what here? 1. There is a 1 is displayed or not? Yes. But 1, when I click on this button, what is the value it is written? 1. When I click on this button, what is the value is written? 1. Okay, value is 1 and display value is what? 1. Okay, suppose value is 1, display value is, I just use here ONE. So what is the caption of this button? Sorry. What is the caption of this button? So display value and value. What is the value of this button? 1. When I click on this button, even it returns a value as what? 1 only. If I say 1, what is the value of this button? 1. If I click on this button, what is the value written? 1 only, right? What is the value it is written? 1. So is it value? Value is nothing but a caption as well as a value written by which one? Button. Multiple buttons, you can give the name. Now, what is the name of this button? Some B1. What is the name of this button? B1. I'm just writing input type, and input type equal to which one? Button. And value of this button, I'm just writing it as what? 2. And name of this button is what here? B2. Name of this button is a B2. Now, this is 1 and this button is what here? 2. But is it having any predefined functionality for this? No, it doesn't have any predefined functionality to this, right? If you want to add any predefined functionality, you'll try to use the event attributes, and there is an event attribute called which one? On click. There is an event attribute called which one? On click. On click. What do you do it? You call one function. I'll say function 1. When you click on this button, I want to call one function. And what is that function I called? Function 2. When you click on 1, I call the function 1. When I click on 2, then I call the function 2. But when you click on submit, are you called any function? When you click on submit, are you called any function? No. When you click on reset, are you called any function? No, because these buttons are having some predefined, these buttons are having some predefined functionality. But this button doesn't have any predefined functionality associated with it. You need to write the function which has to be called when you click on that particular button. Right? So that is the difference between input type equal to submit, or input type is reset, and input type is what here? Button. Now you write the functions. Okay, you write the functions. Now this is a header, and you'll write a script. Okay, script is there, and within the script you'll write the function. What is the name of the function? Function 1. Okay, then you'll write a function. What is the name of the function you're writing? Function 2. Now this is how you write the functions in what? This is how you write the functions in what? Script. Which is script? JavaScript, right? How you write the functions in JavaScript using a keyword called which one? Function. And it followed by the name of the function. The way how you write in Java, by saying void. But here, no, you don't write that. You just use a keyword called which one? Function to write a function. Now, when I click on this button, it just called the function 1 and function 2. Where in one function 1, I'm just trying to display the message. This is what here, function 1. This is a function 1. Then if I click on the button 2, then I want to display one message. And what is the message I'm displaying? Function 2. I'm just displaying one alert window. Okay, now. So when I click on 1 and 2, when I click on 1, this is 1 and 2 reset, and one more is a submit. Just a minute. What is the name of the function? Function 1. What is the name of the function? Function 2, right? So I call two functions here, function 1 as well as function 2. Now, which function is called here? Function 1. Which function is called? Function 1. When I click on the function 2, which function is called here? Function 2. But how you define this user-defined functionality? By placing your own customized buttons. If you want to create a customized buttons, then use input type equal to which one? Button. So the same thing can be done by using which control? Same thing can be done by using which control? Button control. So creates a clickable button that can be triggered an action, right? Yes. So in the place of this, you can take input type equal to which one? Button, right? Next, now one more control is there. Yes, we have seen what? Input and text area and select label, button, field set, legend and form. And there is one more is there. What is this here? Data list. Data list. Create a predefined list of options that can be used with input fields for auto completion. Okay, right? So data list is there, and one more is which one? Select. So this data list and select, this both are used for creating which list? Drop down list. This is also create which list? Drop down list or data list of which one? Options. It will create a list of options. This will add a drop down, but here it doesn't add which one? Drop down. Data list and option creates a predefined list of options that can be used with input fields for auto completion. What is the meaning of this here? Just this here. Data list is there. So data list. Now there is a list, there is a select is there, and there is a data list is there. So what this data list is doing? Okay, now I just to try to understand. When I click on this button, I call which function? Function 1. When function 1 is called, when there is an event. What is the event? On click. When function 2 is called, when you click on the button 2. What is the event here? On click. Okay, but here when you click, are you calling any function? When you click on submit, are you calling any function? No. When you click on reset, are you calling any function? No. But who called the function? Who called the function? Is it this button is associated with a predefined functionality or not? Yes. Okay. You are not assigning any function to that because it is a predefined type. So there is a data list, and what is that? Option. So creates a predefined list of options that can be used with input fields for auto completion. For auto completion, right? What is the meaning of this? Suppose assume that okay, for example, assume that so there is a field data list is there, and the name of this data list is, again I've taken it as what? Courses. So there is a data list, and what data list contain? Options. Each option you define it. Okay, each option you define it. So what is the value of this option is some Java, right? And what is the value display here is Java. So there is an option and there is a value. And what is the value it is having? Oracle. And this is a value called Oracle. Now this is called as which one here? Data list. Okay, this is called as a data list. Okay, name, and just give the label for this. So there is a label for which one? Course. So what is the name of this here? Course. Now there is a data list. Okay, now there is a beginning. Sorry. So there is a beginning and there is what here? Ending. But generally what will happen when you use a data list? Okay, data list is there. Okay, why we are using here? The data list represent the set of option elements that represent predefined option for other controls. In the rendering, the data list element represent nothing and it along with its children should be hidden, right? But is it these values are displayed or not displayed? Not displayed here. So there are some attributes of data list, right? So there is a data list. Just to see it. So there is a data list element. The data list HTML element contains a set of options, element that represent the permissible or recommended options available to choose from with other controls. For example, this is a data list, right? This is a data list and having number of values. This is a data list having number of values. Assume that. Okay. We'll just take this. Otherwise, this example. Okay. A simple example. Even I have written with the same, right? So this is a data list with what here? Courses. But this data list work as input for what? Other fields. This data list work as input for what? Other fields. This data list work as input for other fields. So there is a data list. Okay, now this is having list of what here? Options. But is it these options are visible or not visible? Not visible. These options are visible or not visible? Not visible. See here. Is it visible or not visible? Not visible. See, this is a data list. Choose a flavor. Okay, choose a flavor is there. Now this is input field. But this input field, what is the list? See, this input field, this input field is assigned which one? List. Okay, it means this data list is a list. This data list work as input for, see here, creates a predefined list of options that can be used with input field for what? Auto completion. It means it will work for input for what? Input field. It will work as input for what? Input field. Suppose when I move the cursor, it will show you the list of input values. Okay, it is for what? Auto completion. You can select any one of it. I select coconut. Instead of typing which one? Coconut. Instead of typing coconut, I just select which one? Coconut, right? I'll remove this. Now this is very much useful when you're working with autocomplete. You don't want to write it. I just select it as what? Vanilla. In the same way, for example, that is what I written here. It will work like input field for, what? Input. It will work like a auto field for what? Other fields. For example, choose your course. For example, this is a label. What is the label here? Choose a course. But the courses will not be displayed, but you can choose from the list of data. You can choose from the list of data. Now, what is this here? Course. Okay, what is the name of the list here? Course. The name of the list is a course, and this is, I just remove the ID here, and the name of this is course. And what is the courses? And what is the name of this one? Label for which one? Courses. Okay, now suppose this is only input field, right? Where I have to input the courses. But what courses I should input? What courses I should input? Is it auto complete is there or not there? No. Auto complete feature is not there. Auto complete means you should show these are the list of courses from which you can select, or you can input one new course also. Okay, it will show you the list of courses from which you can select, or you can also input one new course. I can input one new course which is not available in the list of courses. Is it this is allowed or not allowed? Allowed. But at the same time, you don't require to type. What you can define? You can define the list of values. You can tell the end user or customer, select these courses. How I'm defining the data list? Data list. What is the name of this list here? Course. What is the name of this list here? Course. And I'm trying to define the values. There is an option. You are defining the list of options, right? What are the options for this data? Now you define the option along with which one? Value. You define the option along with which one? Value. What is the value of this here? Suppose the value of this is Java, and there is an option. There is an option and value. What is the value of this option here? Oracle. Value is Oracle. These are the values for which one? These values are displayed for which one? Input type. These values are displayed in for which one? Input type. For example, if I move this, now it will try to display. What is the name of this data list? Courses. List is courses. Courses. So there are multiple options are there. What is the first option here? Values. Values a Java, right? So data list ID is there, an option and value. And this is a beginning and this is the end. List is there. What is the name of this list? Course. Course only, right? Where is the mistake? No. Name is the courses, but which input type? Sorry. Input type is what here? Text. Input type is a text only. Input type is a text. Sorry. Input type. Input what here? List. And what is the name of the list here? Course. Data list name. Somewhere we are doing mistake. So this is, sorry. This is the beginning of the data list. And these are the option. What is the first option value here? Java. And second option value is what? Yes. So list, input type list, name courses. Just run this. Now there is a course called which one? Oracle. But only one course is displayed. Okay, no problem. Yeah, just somewhere we are doing a simple mistake. But anyway, this is a label. Just will change this code otherwise. Somewhere missing some 1 minute. We'll just change label for which one? Label for courses. Okay. Choose a course. For example, choose a course is a label and ID not required. ID is not required. Name is, what is the name I'm giving? Courses. Okay, what is a list name here? Course list. Okay. So data list ID is a course list. Okay, now for this one, and value is, you can either give name or ID. See, you can give either name or ID. Anything you can give. So this is MySQL. So I just take how many courses here? 3 courses. So these are the list of courses. Oracle is there. And I just remove this. Now you can choose. Now Java and one more is which one? SQL. Now apart from this, can you add one more or not? Yes. I said C#.NET. Okay. Then you can see Oracle, Java, MySQL, and one more is what? C#. If I'm trying to add one more, some Python, and if I click on submit, so it will add Oracle, Java, MySQL, C# as well as what? Python. It means you are trying to assign this data list to which one? Input type. This is useful for which one? Autocomplete. This is useful for which one? Auto completion. Means rather than you type the things, you can select from what? Existing. Rather than you type the things. Okay. Sometimes when you type your mail ID, will it automatically get the mail ID or not? Yes. So that is defined by using which one here? Data list only. That is defined by using which one? Data list. Create a predefined list of options that can be used with input fields for which one? Auto completion. Auto completion, you know that. Auto completion means where rather than you type the things, it will take from what? List. It will take from what? List. You don't require to type. You don't require to what? Type. You just choose from the list. If I'm saying Oracle, is it displayed the auto complete value or not? Yes. If I'm saying MySQL, is it displayed value or not? Yes. When you type enter email ID, if you type some Java, okay, if I'm saying my name, right, like this, it will give. Now, suppose at the rate some gmail.com. If I say submit, but when you type next time, is it display the hint or not? Yes. It will say Java. So this, yes, once I click on submit, this is useful for which one? Auto completion. This auto completion can be done by using which one here? Data list. But in this data list, even you can add what? A new value or okay, you can add what? A new value. But these are existing values or not? Yes. But if I don't give any values, now this data list is what now? Empty. Is it show any auto completion here? No. Okay, because this is previously it is stored in the browser, it is shown, right? Suppose this is choose a course. If I'm trying to say, see, any default values are there? Are any default values are, see, in the previous case, we define what? Default value. What are the default values we define? What are the default values we define? Some Java and other things, right? There is a list of options are there. I'm trying to define the option value. Now this is a default autocomplete value or not? Yes. What is the default autocomplete value? Suppose I'm saying data science is there. What is the default autocomplete value here? Data science. If I click on this, it will show you which one? Data science. But these are existing values which are already stored inside what? Browser. Browser is having a storage or not? Yes. Where it will try to store which values? Auto completion what? Values. It will try to store which values? Auto completion values. But if these values are cleared, sometimes you clear the cache, right? You'll try to clear the cache of which one? Browser. In that case, will it show this auto completed values? No. But is it show this auto completed value called DS or not? Yes, because it is default value which is given at the time of displaying what? Web page. But these are the values which are stored in which one? Browser. But this value is stored in the browser? No. But once you submit, even this value is also stored inside what? Browser. But this value is compulsory stored, compulsory displayed or not? Yes. Suppose if I don't use this, what will happen? It will show you only the values which are stored in what? Browser. But is it DS is displayed or not displayed? Not displayed. Now this is helpful for completing input data automatically. You are using which one? Data list. Data list is there. Auto completion of data means always you create a data list and this data list is assigned to which field? Or this data list you assign to which field? Input field. And input field is having one attribute called which one? List. Input field is having an attribute called which one? List. And this list is assigned which list? Data list. This list is assigned which list? Data list. And this just data list is the name of the, see, this list is nothing but name of the list. Okay, this data list is identified with what name? Course list. This can be either ID or this can be either what? Name. This can be either ID or this can be either name. So it is helpful to complete automatical input value, right? So for that, you are using which one? Data list. Then after that, I said input type is what? Submit. Input type is a reset and input type is a checkbox or radio. And input type is what here? File. So create a file upload. Create a file upload. So file upload window. It will show you the file upload button. It will show you the file upload button. It's a predefined button. Input type. Input type. Input type equal to, what is this here? File. Input type equal to file. Now this shows file upload. Now there is a file upload button. It shows choose a file name. Which file you want to upload? Just select the file name and select what here? Open. Okay. Now if you want file upload button or file upload button, that you can define it by using input type. Input type equal to which one? File, right? But after selecting the file, you click on which button? Submit button. After selecting the file, suppose choose a file. I choose a file and then click on which button? Submit button. Then when I click on submit button, is it send this data or not? Yes. But how you send this data of the file? How you send the data of the file? You send the data by using another request method, not by using get method, but you submit this data by using which method? Post method. Because file can be any type, right? It can be a text file or it can be a binary file or it can be any other type of file. How you send this data to the server? Not by using get method. You send this data by using which method? Put method or post method. You'll use it to send this data to which one? Server, right? Yes. Then next, now this is input type. Input type equal to which one? File. And already I said input type is a date and input type is what? Time. And again I said input type is which one? Number. And I said input type is a email or input type is a telephone or input type is what? URL. Next one is input type is which one? Color. Color is there. And this will show you a color palette. This will show you a color palette. Now this is color palette, right? So if input type is a color, yes. If input type is a color, so input type is a color, it will show you the color palette. And from this color palette, what you can do, you can select the color. From this color palette, you can select the color, right? What is a combination of color? Whichever color you select that color by using which one? Input type is a color. So this is useful. See, this is only selection. But after selection, if you want to perform any operations, here input type is a color. Suppose I just write here input type is a color. Input type is a color. On which one? On click or on change. I'll call one function. What function I call? Change. Change which color? Background color. Then I'll write one function that should change the background color of which one? Page. Whichever color I select, that color should be assigned to which one? Background. So that you learn once we move to which one? JavaScript. Okay, now, but just try to understand. This is only selecting or inputting data. There is one more input type is there. And what is that input type here? Button is it. Input type is hidden is it. Hidden is also used. Okay, hidden. Input type is hidden. This is useful when you are working with the like in when you are working with the servlets or JSP, or if you are working with a session what? Session management, right? Session management. You'll try to store the data in hidden field. You'll try to store the data into what? Hidden field. Session management. Okay, there is some concept at server side programming called which one? Session management. Session is nothing but from login to logout is called as one session. Okay, how server remembers from which client request has come. How server remembers from which client the request has come. Okay, are you sending username and password every time? Are you login only by giving username and password one time or every time? Only one time. Where you enter username and password one time and click on what? Login. Once you click on login, what will happen? One session will be created. So that whenever you send any data, it will send along with the session information. How session is identified with the user name? Are you giving username in every submitter? Only one. Only one. Once you log in, then your server identifies that this request is come from the same client. But where you are storing this session information, you are trying to store this session information, different approaches are there. And one approach is which one? Input type equal to what? Hidden. So you store this username and passwords into what? Hidden fields, which is not visible in what? Web page. So that whenever you click on submit or whenever you send the data, it will send the data along with the username and password. That is how server identifies the request is come from the same client. So this session management, this is very much useful. Otherwise, generally you'll say input type is hidden means create an hidden input field that is not visible to the user, but can store data for processing. Can store the data for processing. But is it this field is visible or not visible? Not visible. This field is not visible. If I'm saying input type equal to hidden. Is it this field is visible or not visible? Not visible. I'm saying value. Value equal to what here? NIT. Is it this value is displayed or not displayed? Not. See, input field is there. But is it visible or not visible? Not visible. If I see the view page source, if I say view page source, can you see the input field or not? Yes. What is the name of the input field? Hidden. And what is the value of this? NIT. But is it this field is displayed? Is it this field is displayed on the output? No, but this field is there with the value. Suppose if I click on submit, it will send the data along with. If I click on submit, it will send the data along with. If I click on submit, it will send the data along with hidden field. If I click on submit, it will send the data along with which field? Hidden field also. Okay, but this is useful for storing some secured information, right? Yes, just to see here. Just to see here. So there is one hidden field is there. Once I click on, select the course and choose a file. Okay, and just click on which button? Submit button. But is it hidden field value also send or not? Yes. But are you given any name of the field? No. So I'm trying to give the name of this hidden field is what? H1. Name of this hidden field is H1. I just select the file name and click on submit. Can you see how many values are sent to the server or another resource? Course. What is the course I entered here? Data science. And what is the value of H1? NIT. But is it H1? H1 is, are you input any value NIT? Are you input any value called NIT? No. Where is the NIT? NIT is there in which field? Hidden field. NIT is there, but NIT is there in which field? Hidden field it is there. So this is very much useful when you are working with which one? Session management. You understood what is session management is? Okay. Session means from login to logout. Session is created or not? Yes. Okay. You don't enter. See, for example, you enter username and password. After entering username and password, the request is sent to what? Server. Server will verify is it this input username and password is valid or invalid. Server will verify username and password is valid or invalid. After verifying username and password, will it give the response or not? Yes. After giving response, is it connected or disconnected? After giving the response, is it connected or disconnected? After giving the response, is it connected or disconnected? कुछ भी नहीं मालूम मगर दोयली मोबाइल पे इंटरनेट में काम करते रहते कनेक्टेड डिस्कनेक्टेड కనెక్టెడ్ అంటే కనెక్టెడ్ అంటే డిస్కనెక్టెడ్ అంటారా మీరు కనెక్టెడా డిస్కనెక్టెడా డిస్కనెక్టెడ్ అంత కూడా తెలియదు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నాట్ కనెక్టెడ్ డిస్కనెక్టెడ్ getting on it is not connected, it's disconnected. Okay na, suppose you connect to, suppose you send a mail, right? You send a mail or not? Suppose for sending mail, what do you do? It you enter username and password, you compose a mail, right? So after composing the mail, if you click on what? Send, what will happen? What will happen? It will send, but before sending, what will happen? First word, connect, right? First what it will do? Connect and then send data. Connect and then see, internet is connection oriented. Connection oriented means until unless it doesn't establish connection, it will not perform any operation. Internet is connection oriented because it work on the top of which one? TCP. TCP is a connection oriented or connectionless? Connection oriented. Once you get the response, the connected is what? Connection is closed. Then when you say again send, it will send the request to which one? Server. But once the connection is closed, how server identifies is it request is come from the same person? अब सर्वर को कैसे मालूम? अभी सपोज डेली आप क्लास को आ रहे, ओके, डेली आप क्लास को आ रहे ना, सो कैसे मालूम आप नरेश शेट्टी के स्टूडेंट है बोल के? आईडी कार्ड रहता है ना, डेली दिखाते आप, जब भी क्लास को आते आप डेली दिखाते हैं मेरा आईडी कार्ड है बोल। ओके, क्लास होने के बाद डिस्कनेक्ट चले जाते हैं, फिर दिखाते रहते क्या सबको? नहीं, ओके ना, सो डिस्कनेक्टेड. When you again come to the class, again you'll show, this is my ID. Yes or no? When you connect, you'll show this is my ID card. Here also same thing. Once you log in, credentials are checked by whom? Server. And then after checking, what will happen? It will generate the response, and it will generate a response along with which information? Session information. Means every response contain what? User details. So that whenever clients send a request, that request contain whose information? User information. But where this user information is stored in response, where this user information is stored, this user information is stored in hidden fields. This user information is stored in the form, in the HTML page only. They store that username and password and send it. So that when you submit the form, again it will send what? Username and password. So that it will identify, this is the same user. Sometimes you get a message, right? Enable cookies or not. Cookies also stored which information? Users information, session information, right? So that is what session man. So Internet is connector oriented. Once you connect, once you log in, every request you send to the server is a new request. Every request what you send from client to server is what? New request. Server doesn't know the request is come from whom. Then how you should tell the server the request is from the same client? Every time we should give some identification or not? Yes. Every time we should say, I'm a person, I'm a person, I'm a person. Now that you call it as which management? Session management or state management. Without session management or state management, there is no e-commerce application. But where this session information is stored in different ways, like cookies, and one more is hidden fields, and one more is session objects which are created at which side? Server side. You are working with online shopping, right? You add the products. Where the products get added in? Cart. Cart means what? Cart means what? Where is a cart? In the client browser. In the form of which one? Cookies. In the form of which one? Cookies, right? So browser represents what? Client. Getting on, it means that is the information belongs to what? Session. That client, right? When you click on submit, this cookies data sent to which one? Server. Process your product order and then it will generate some report or not? Yes. All these are very much useful when you're working with e-commerce applications, right? Form. Without form, there is no e-commerce application. Because you are not, you are developing a front end where it is not just, it is not a blog, right? Blog means just posting details. Tutorials means just displaying the content, articles and something, right? It is not like that. When you're saying e-commerce, it should be what? Interactive, where the customer will input what? Data. But how you input the data? Using? How you input the data? Using what? Form. So without form, there is no e-commerce application. Without form. Now see, what is that railways website here? IRCTC, right? Okay. IRCTC. Now this first one is called as which one? Is it, this is a form or not? Yes, this is a form. We'll develop this. This is date, month and year. And this is from, and this is what? To, I want these symbols. How can I display these symbols? All these are icons or not? Yes. How can I get these icons? By using which one? CSS. By using CSS. We know how to display this data or not? Yes. How can you display this data? By using data control. Data control is there. And from, what is this from? Placeholder. What is this to? Placeholder. General means what? This is what? Drop down. Drop down, huh? We have seen drop down or not? Yes. All classes. This is also which one? Drop down. This complete thing is a form or not? Yes. Now this is what? Checkbox. Is a check a PNR status? This is a check or not? Yes. It is a button. Sorry. It is a button. What it is? It is a button, right? This is a button. PNR status. And next one is what? Vacancy chart. This is also one button. Then once you click on this, this is one form or not? Yes. Dialog. This is one dialog. This is one form. And where you are trying to input? You are trying to input journey details, journey date, and boarding section. Without form, is it any e-commerce application? No, right? It